What's up, Fungal Associates? Welcome to Completely Arbortrary. You read that right. It's Completely Arbortrary. It's the podcast about trees and some other related topics. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Alex Crowson. And of course, I had the great pleasure of introducing Man of the Year of the Cone, Casey Clapp.
Oh, nice, Alex. That was a good one.
Wow,
I am the Man of the Year of the Cone.
The Man of the Year of the Cone.
Man, that's good. I really appreciate that. Hi, Alex.
Not quite the Man of the Year, but certainly the Man of the Year of the Cone.
Yeah, I'll take that. You know what? That's fine with me. I'm okay with that.
You're the Man of the Year in my book. Oh. Well, you're second place after myself.
Oh, well, okay, fine. Thank you. That's very lovely of you to include me.
Well, Casey, we're here to talk. Oh my, this is our third to last episode of our mainline.
Well, okay. I think we should say it differently. I think this is our third to last episode of Phase 1.
We're toward the end of Phase 1.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Well, first off, we're talking about the Cone Club.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Cone Club.
Okay. So here's the thing, everyone. We have the Cone Club, and you need to be a part of it.
Here's what it is. It's a monthly subscription service that you sign up for. You pay a monthly fee, and in return, you get the big... I'm just going to skip all the ad-free listening, merch discounts. That's all great.
Yeah, well, you should also skip that you get a discount on the store, and you should also skip that you can get a bunch of cool extra episodes. It's not important.
And also skip that you can have a direct line to Casey and I and ask us questions for the AMA. Skip all that.
Not important.
Because the real gold of the Cone Club is stickers.
That's right.
And we will send you a sticker every month with an information card.
Yeah.
That says something about that species. Uh-huh. Oh, what's the sticker, you might ask? The sticker is a cone from a conifer.
It could be a leaf from an angiosperm.
It could be a flower from a flowering plant.
It could also be a piece of bark.
From a barked thing.
Tree.
Yes. Or a dog.
It could be a dog.
And each illustration of these different things is illustrated by a different cool independent artist making exciting art just for you.
That's right. And printed here in Portland, Oregon, sent out personally by yours truly,
That's
Alex
right.
and Casey.
That's right.
So
to join the Cone Club, go to arbortrarypod.supercast.com, ARBORTRARY pod.supercast.com. We had a big push at the end of last year. We got up to that 800.
We sure did.
And I thought, oh man, the sky's the limit.
Love you guys.
It's going to keep going up and up. And then
then the economy started to tank.
We had a bit of an exodus.
No, and that's okay. We kind of expected it. You guys are the best for saying, yeah, all right, we'll bite. We'll throw you a bone. We'll get you up there. So first off, thank you. Second off, rejoin. Okay.
Of course.
And third, we're also doing one final merch run in Phase 1.
That's right. If you have your heart set on a piece of merch that's on our merch store, arbortrarypod.com/merch, we have so many different things on there. But a lot of them sold out.
And you're like, man, I really wanted to get that, and now you just don't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Guess what?
We are basically taking your order like a restaurant.
That's exactly right.
And we are going to place an order with our manufacturers and our printers.
Colloquially, cook it.
We're going to go cook it. Cook it. And we will come serve you delicious, fresh food of clothing and stickers.
That's exactly right. So here's the thing. We're going to be doing a reorder of a few different options. The first one is going to be our famous logo tee. Love that to death. If you want one of those, go buy that now. The pre-order is up immediately.
Now is the time, because in a year, you're going to find them on eBay for $300.
Exactly. And that's going to be way too expensive.
Yeah.
And also
and
black market.
It's going to be me selling them.
It's going to be Alex just black marketing and everything. Yeah, man, he did it with his CDs, and now he's going to do it with everyone else.
Not a bad idea.
That pisses me off. Now that's not it, though. We're also doing a pre-order for the Dawn Redwood and White Oak long sleeves.
Hell yeah. Maybe our most best-selling clothing ever.
I think so, yeah. I certainly wear mine more than almost any other shirt that I have.
Yeah.
So yes, those are the ones we're going to be doing. We also have a few vestiges left over that we are going to be heavily marking down to get rid of those inventories, because you know what? We got to do it. That's going to be that'll be the Douglas fir tee and the Tree Buds tee. So if you want those, we have limited sizes for cheap. And then of course we have our new Tree Run tree shirts.
Wonderful.
Oh man, did I just come up with that? Look at me go.
Tree run teas.
Cool.
Trees, sorry. Well, everybody, arbitrarypod.com to find all these things, to find links to the Cone Club, to find merch. And right about now, you're going to be finding an ad in your ears. But when we come back, we're going to have wait, I must be misreading this.
What's going on, Alex? Are you okay? What's happening?
I see that today's episode is about Apple.
Oh, is it ever?
Well, I guess we'll talk about it after the break. We'll be right back with Completely Arbitrary. Welcome back to Completely Arbitrary. Today we're talking about the Apple. If you are just tuning in, there's a bit of a backstory here.
Yeah, why don't you give us the quick version?
In 2019, Casey appeared on a podcast called Ologies, hosted by our friend Allie Ward.
Actually, in 2018.
Casey went on a tirade talking about how much he hates apples.
She actually edited it out.
Yes.
Edited it out.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, Casey just freaked out for like 30 minutes over here. I'm going to give you the gist.
Now that became part of Casey's personality, and
Yes.
he went home that night sweating, and he thought, oh my God, now I have to hate apples forever.
Forever.
So we had an Apple episode of our show when it inevitably came out. Mm-hmm. And we gave our thoughts. Does Alex remember how that went down? No.
No, he was scared. Casey was pretty intense about it.
And then we had a second Apple episode.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what that was. And today will be the very last Apple episode we ever have. We guarantee it.
That's right. I'm never talking about apples again after this.
I'm actually ready to be done too.
I am letting my hatred go.
Is there something new to share today about apples?
I don't know.
From a personal level?
We'll find out after these messages.
Casey, we've already taken a break.
Take another one.
All right. Please listen to the ads. Casey, let's imagine, as we do every episode,
Okay.
that you and I are in the mountains of Kazakhstan. And we come across some Malus cerevisiae.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
But I'm assuming there's some other species we're talking about today.
Oh, do you? Okay, good.
But let's ID this tree.
Let's ID this tree, Alex.
I don't like all this mystery. Please stop.
I will enlighten you here and now.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yep.
We're talking about a tree that does not grow in Kazakhstan. We're talking about a tree that grows in China. In particular, we're talking about a tree called the tea crabapple.
The tea crabapple.
This is Malus hupehensis.
Now, when I was on Orcas Island last, there was a crabapple tree.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a tea crabapple, probably. But I ate one of the little apples off it.
Yeah.
It was quite disgusting.
Yes, they're horrible. They
But-
taste absolutely awful.
Here's my favorite part about it. It's not just like, oh, these are like really small apples.
Yeah.
They're like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids apples.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
They look like real-sized apples, just small. Like they have the exact same proportions and details as a big regular-sized apple.
really?
It was so interesting to
I
me.
had not ever heard of that.
It was like a little dollhouse apple.
Weird. I wonder what species you were dealing with.
I could probably find it for you.
Well, honestly, no. I don't wonder which species you were dealing with because I know the answer is impossible. Let me explain, Alex.
Okay.
There are, in the whole world, approximately 39 accepted species of apple.
Accepted.
Yes, and this is according to Kew Gardens. This is the Plants of the World online database,
Yeah.
which is essentially the de facto, database that says there are this many of all these things. This name is accepted, that name is not. It's kind of
Okay.
like the arbiter. If it's in there, it's real. If it's not in there, it's not real.
Okay.
Or they'll say, this is not an accepted name for this species that is accepted.
So this is the authority on plant species.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, according to that, there are 39 species.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, there's like 32 to 59 or something like that. According to a couple other resources, there's any number between like 30 and 40, mostly.
Okay.
So I'm going with 39 because that's the best place for me to start. So I will stick with that. All of these apples grow in North America, Asia, and Europe. The northern kind of landmass countries or regions, right?
Natively.
And each one is very likely to hybridize with the other.
Okay.
They have created at least according to Michael Durr's Manual of Woody Landscape Plants, something like 400 to 600 different types.
Oh.
Now, one more time. 600 different hybrids and cultivars and different colored varieties of whatever sort.
Wow.
That is just for the horticulture species. That is not including the kinds of apples that we would eat and go buy as the fruit.
I thought that was horticulture.
It's no.
That's agriculture.
That's agriculture. That's orcharding, something like that.
Okay.
So that is just the ones that we would plant to be pretty.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, how many are there that we would plant to eat?
Oh, I have no idea.
Thousands and thousands.
Thousands and thousands. And there's like a lot of old varieties that have kind of like gone a little bit on the wayside.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually have reached out to say, oh, you should talk about this guy who has found all these like ancient varieties of plants.
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he find 10,000?
It's probably something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing with apples. And I'll explain this a little bit more. But first, I want to give us a very clear idea of which tree we're talking about today.
Okay.
So we are talking about, again, Malus hupehensis, which is hupehensis. Now, there's actually kind of something really interesting about the name. The name means it's the apple of Hubei province, China.
Oh.
Meaning it's from central China, essentially. Okay. But it was originally identified by old Ernest Wilson, that old guy, Chinese Wilson.
Oh, yeah, Chinese Wilson.
Chinese Wilson's
He's back.
Baby. If there is a tree that's from China, Chinese Wilson brought it to the rest of the world. Oh. And then something crazy happened to him, and we don't know. So he initially named this Malus Teifera, I think would be the way to pronounce it. Otherwise, you can actually just do straight Theifera, which is basically means tea providing or tea growing, tea bearing malus or apple.
Tea as in TEA, tea?
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So the name of the family that is the tea family is tea. So THE is all that kind of scientific name. And it's all in the literature and stuff.
Okay.
So Theifera or Teifera means that it is the apple that bears tea leaves because they used to use these leaves as kind of a tea surrogate in China.
Okay.
So that's what he found. Another botanist found it and thought that it was in fact a pear. So he named it the pear of Hubei, which is Pyrus hupehensis.
Okay.
So then when they realized this, they said, okay, well, it's actually not a pear, it's a malus, it's an apple. However, the first name says hupehensis, so they ended up combining it to make it Malus hupehensis.
Okay.
So that's how we get the name.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So tea crabapple makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So when you are out in the wild and you're finding this tree, you will be looking for these characteristics. It's going to be a small tree or a shrub up to about 25 or 30 feet tall.
Okay.
It will have leaves that are ovate to ovate elliptical. So that means they're basically oval to egg shaped.
Okay.
More or less. They're about 2 to 4 inches long, more or less an inch or so wide. And they are not, I repeat, they do not have lobes. They're unlobed leaves.
Okay. Is this going to come back?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But it could in some regard. It's just helpful to keep that in mind.
Okay.
It has beautiful little hairs all over its little leaves. So right when they very first come out, it's just kind of this little peach fuzz covering the whole thing.
Huh.
Well, apple fuzz, obviously.
Tomatos?
Yeah, or glabrescent is what they call. So like just a little bit of kind of little...
Okay.
So
I guess I've heard of glabrous.
So glabrescent means that it is becoming hairless. So
okay, it has alopecia.
Exactly. So slowly but surely, it's losing all of these hairs. So it starts with a little bit and then becomes hairless.
Sorry, applepecia.
Applepecia. So Alex, applepecia is exactly right. So okay, so that's what the leaves look like. Not very big, kind of cute, adorable little guys.
They're fine.
They're fine. Nothing too crazy. I'm not going to jump out of my skin for them. But you know what? It's also an apple, so I'm not going to jump out of my skin no matter what. Anyway. It has little teeny tiny, whoa.
I'm going to try to breeze past that.
Okay, fine.
I want to say something about the leaves.
Okay.
Slow the fuck down.
What do you got about the leaves?
I think they look like apple leaves.
This apple tree is beautiful.
It's a nice looking tree.
Its form, if you give it the opportunity, is really nice. Like it's got normally spaced branches. The branches will also tend to like kind of interweave themselves, and it kind of looks like the whole canopy, being not a huge tree, kind of becomes a bit of like a nest, like a bird's nest.
Yeah.
Where all the branches kind of interweave in a way where you think something like it grew that way on purpose.
Totally.
Almost. When really they just kind of grow scattershot in every direction, and they just kind of interweave because, well, I'm just growing in every direction.
Yeah,
all
there's
the time.
something like a hawthorn is like that, but it's like it looks ugly, you know?
Yes.
But
yes, exactly.
This looks more like tasteful, like more artfully done.
Now you're on to it, Alex. Now you're on to it.
By the way, Casey.
Yes.
I am looking at the fruit, which maybe we should talk about next.
I think we should.
Identical to the little apple that I ate on Orcas Island.
Good. Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense.
Okay.
Now, you might have had this species or another very closely related one or a hybrid of it, but we'll
Okay.
talk about that in a second.
Alrighty.
So, the fruit, describe it to us. Give us what it looks like.
Well, I will say it again. It's like a little dollhouse apple. It looks just like an apple, but it's a little dollhouse version.
See, that's so funny that you say that because I think it looks like a cherry. I mean, look at these things.
Okay.
Those are cherries, Alex.
Yeah, those look like cherries.
Little cherries.
Look like little cherries.
Let's go give that a Google, everyone. Those are little cherries.
But they also look like little apples.
They do. They look like cherry apples.
They look like crab apples. The photo you're showing me doesn't show like the bottom of them. And I think like seeing the shape of it really clearly. Yeah, let me show you one here.
Yeah,
Can
try
you
it.
lean over and see this computer screen?
Yes, yeah.
And they have like
I
this.
see that.
They look like little apples, and they have a little red cherry-looking peduncle.
Yes. Good for you.
Is that- okay.
That is exactly right. God, I'm proud of you.
Petiole is on a leaf, right? And
Correct.
Peduncle is on a fruit.
Yes, and a pedicel is on a compound fruit. So
How
this
about
is
that?
precisely correct.
And it's a poem.
Yep.
So it has little star-shaped butthole on the
It's
bottom.
got a little star-shaped butthole, but it's really hard to see on these little guys. Like the
Yeah.
buttholeness is really it doesn't quite it doesn't quite as translate as well.
Sure.
Or maybe actually it looks more like a butthole than it does a little apple calyx.
Easy there.
Huh?
But they're also bright red.
They are.
They look like inflamed. Like
They look like shiny red cherries
yes,
to me.
beautiful.
Taste horrible.
Yeah, they're not great.
No, but birds love them.
I can see that.
Love them.
I thought there was. I was like, I think there might be potential here if you added like a pound of sugar.
Yeah, okay,
per
that's
apple.
possible. Yeah, they're very astringent though, in my
Yes.
experience. So
The kind that'll like
shut your
dry
mouth
out
dry.
your mouth.
Exactly. Yeah, and I hate that.
Yeah.
And that, Alex, is a great way to identify these trees as crab apples
Hmm.
because they look like cherries in fall time.
Oh.
Because you won't ever see a cherry growing in fall. They're early spring or
Oh,
late spring,
sure.
early summer kind of bloomers and fruiters.
Yeah.
These guys will look like cherries. They'll look like the little teeny tiny apple in the middle of fall when you expect apples to be around anyway, right?
Apple season. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, where do those little fruit come from? Oh my God.
The flowers are gorgeous.
An incredible flower.
Yeah.
Now, here is one of the things a little bit behind the scenes. Initially, I was going to talk about the apple. And I started reading a book called The Light Between the Apples. And that was a book that was sent over to us. Someone's like, oh, you guys like trees. You should look at this book about apples. And I was like, okay, cool. And I started looking at it. So The Light Between the Apple Trees, and it is by Priyanka Kumar.
Okay.
So, wonderful. Started reading it. It's like a little bit of a memoir talking about finding nature and yourself looking through apples. Really lovely read.
Great.
But it did not inspire me the way it inspired this author, Kumar.
Okay.
So, what was going on in my world about this? I was like, honestly, I just don't like apple trees. I just don't like them. I just don't like apple trees. And I don't, no one's going to convince me to find myself, even though it's a wonderful literature,
Yeah.
to find myself using apple trees.
Clearly, though, there's something you're being called to come home to apples.
Exactly. And this is the ultimate struggle that this entire episode revolves around.
Yeah.
There is a whirlpool in the middle which represents my heart.
Wow.
And on one side of this whirlpool getting swooshed about. And if you want to imagine what this what is going on internally, go to the big battle scene in Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Oh.
That's what we're imagining right now.
Okay.
You remember the best movie of all of them, obviously.
Of course. A movie I've seen countless times.
Countless times.
As in, I haven't counted it. As in, it's 0.
As in, it is impossible to give it a number. Because Alex doesn't believe 0 is a number. So, one side is, I eat apples like almost every day because I get them with my CSA. And the flavor of good, well-grown apples is wonderful. And if someone is growing apples as an orchard and they're selling them and they're very precise about how to manage them and they're doing a good job, then people are buying this food product and it's great. It's good use of land. On the other side is the apple that people say, oh, I'm going to plant an apple tree in my front yard and I'm going to eat it and I'm going to be really good and I'm going to have a nice little thing of apples. They don't take care of their apple. They don't prune it. They look at it and they say, I'm not going to worry about it. There's a worm in this one. There's a hole in it. It's not perfect. And they don't take care of it. And it looks like shit. And it falls apart and it drops all its fruit everywhere. And everyone has this wonderful, God bless you. I really appreciate you. Your starry-eyed vision of your beautiful home orchard.
Sure.
You have your heart in the right place.
Yeah.
But it's not there.
It's still a tree.
It's still a tree, but that's kind of the extent of it, and that's where I'm at.
And now
as
your
you
whole
know,
neighborhood smells like kombucha.
Exactly, during the fall time.
Yeah.
It's either the vomiting ginkgos or it's the kombucha
Jesus.
rotting apples and pears.
I don't mind the latter. I like that smell of like rotting fruit in the fall.
Okay,
like,
well,
walking down the street, I'm like, ooh, nice.
this is good for you, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to call you my friend.
Thanks.
And walk down the street
Just
while
for that
I'm
reason.
like, ugh. No, that of many reasons, Alex. You also play a mean bass line.
Oh, thanks.
So the other side is me loving and respecting and caring for crab apples.
I didn't know this about you.
It's only the smell and the color.
Oh.
Everything else about the tree, except for I can count literally 2 trees, and they're the ones growing on the property directly next to the one I live in right now. They're on the street. They are by far the most handsome crab apples I have ever seen in my life.
Okay.
And I can tell you that I look for a lot of crab apples. I look for a lot of trees.
Sure.
These ones, they stand up to scrutiny.
Okay.
Their canopies interweave like we were talking about. They're like these perfect little flat top. They almost look like little mushrooms where they have this nice little central stem and then they're almost like perfectly flat on the bottom and then they just go whoop and have this nice little curved top.
Interesting.
Like their form is delightful.
Wow.
They're sprouting like crazy at the base, which is just awful and I hate. But if I just put that aside,
Yeah.
then those trees are great
Okay.
when they bloom. When they bloom, their flowers are white. Now, when our hupehensis blooms, their flowers are also white. They're about maybe just an inch to an inch and a half in diameter. So they're like pretty decent sized. They are a gorgeous deep pink when they're in bud. And then when they pop out and they like fully expand, they are white. And they smell amazing.
Do they really?
They smell so beautifully floral where you're like, this is the definition of love.
Wow. Wow.
Like poets sit underneath crab apples and they write ballads to the women that they love, to whoever they love.
Interesting.
It is truly a divine, lovely scent.
I had no idea. I need to get my hands on. I need to get my nose on one.
Yes, yeah, do both. Grab the branch with your hand and then put it in your nose.
Perfect. In my nose, yes.
In your nose, Alex. Don't be bashful.
Is it kind of, get more specific for me than floral.
Okay, so
really, speaking of poets, let that poetry come out.
Okay, let's think. It has, I don't know. It's sweet, but not overly sweet.
No.
It's subtle, so as you walk by, you're like, ooh, what is that? And then it almost like coyly is like, oop, and then just goes and hides again.
Not going to overpower
Exactly.
you.
So like Daphne is out right now, and Daphne is like from down the street being like, smell me!
Sure.
Smell me! Then you get closer, and then it's still yelling, and you're like, okay, man, okay, I gotta keep walking. It's just so overpowering.
Okay.
You can smell it once, you love it. You smell it twice, you're like, okay, yeah, no, I still like it. Smell it 3 times, and you're like, okay, get out of, go away, please. I need you to leave.
I feel that way about campfire.
Really?
I hate smelling campfire on my clothes like after I'm home.
Oh man, I had to get over that.
Sure, yeah.
I couldn't.
I'm around a campfire less frequently than you.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay, but yeah, I
that's
think
great. That's
it's pretty
great.
much like
That sounds amazing.
So it is so divine, and as you're walking by, it's subtle enough to not be overpowering, yet it is like strong enough to make you stop and like really want to like just exist with it.
Yeah.
I love them.
Lovely.
Not to mention their flowers are really large, and they like pop out like they're there. They're not just like a nice little thing that's kind of half there. The whole tree is covered from head to toe.
Wow.
There's usually not a leaf in sight, and they're just stunning.
Gorgeous. Yeah, the flowers are really precious.
Yeah, they are. They just are. So I have been having this internal battle because I hate crab apples because you can't eat the apples. I don't like normal apples because you can eat the apples, but nobody does, and they usually taste like shit. And they don't taste like shit. I shouldn't say that. Most of the ones you get at a store are completely awful. That is one thing that this book really did touch on. She was like, during harvest season, do not buy an apple from the store. They taste horrible.
Go to the farm.
Yeah, go to the farm. Go get them from right from the source. And the big apple trees that people let grow, they just kind of fall apart when they get too many fruits on them. So there's like no matter what kind of apple it is, there's something wrong with it.
Sure.
And like the parts that could be like pull it together and make it the best of all worlds is not happening, or it hasn't. Like imagine having a big, beautiful, perfect smelling flower with these pink, beautiful leaves and this nice, lovely form that also produces apples that are edible, that you can eat, that everyone's like, oh, that's nice, but they're not too big, so you don't have to eat like a whole gargantuan melon-sized apple. It's just this little thing. You're like, oh, this is great. You can pop them like little cherry tomatoes or something. What a delightful world that would be.
You're talking if these little crab apples were like as delicious as our farm fresh big ass apples?
Exactly.
That'd be incredible.
That would be amazing.
And no seeds.
No seeds, obviously. So all this to say, Alex, is that I cannot find in my heart of hearts a good reason historically why you should plant anything called an apple whatsoever. So the last thing I want to note about these trees before we kind of already have moved on, we need to make sure to talk about the bark. It has bark, and you can always tell an apple from a pear or a cherry or something else because their bark is either smooth with big plates or smooth with small plates.
Okay.
They are small that appear more like scales and you can kind of like flick them off, or they just look like these little tiny kind of mosaic kind of patterns, but it's just different shades of gray most of the time.
Now, I always make a confusion in my head between, I've never said that phrase before. That works really, I like that.
You make a confusion in your head.
Yeah. It's like, it's not your fault. I make the confusion.
I made it in my head. Get off my back.
Of this bark that's like long horizontal lenticels.
Yeah.
And dotted lenticels.
Okay.
Now, one is like cherries and pears and like rose family stuff.
No, they're all different. This is great.
Tell me more.
I can help.
Okay, I don't even know what words to use to finish my thought.
It's just exasperated sigh.
Just like help me.
Okay, here it is. It is. Okay, so cherries have horizontal lenticels.
Yeah.
Those are usually in like dots that are in horizontal lines. Maybe it's like a half inch, maybe it's like a full 4 inches. Like, but that's what they do.
And for the listener, if you're new to lenticels, a lenticel is like it's kind of like a little pocket that bursts on the skin of a tree.
It's like a little gas exchange port.
Yeah, it's just got like some gas that it needs to let out, and it doesn't have a butt, so it has to just out of the skin
right out of there
of the tree, which we also call the bark.
Yeah, it's got a lot of butts if you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you should go buy my book, The Trees Around You, because I have this all written with beautiful photos. It's a delight. Just go do that.
Probably better than how I did it.
No, I like talking about buttholes, actually.
Okay.
It's the second time it's come up.
That's true.
Just saying. So here's the thing. For cherries, they have those horizontal lenticels.
Yes.
Pears, they have thick furrowed bark. Like they get ridges that split. It's really rough. Like it's not smooth. It's not platey. There's no lenticels to speak of.
Okay.
Rough bark.
Okay.
Those are pears. Then you have plums. Plums have like uniformly kind of rough bark that splits up into every now and then a big plate, but they're rough. Like you can hold it, just put your hand on it, and it'll feel like sandpaper.
Okay.
Like really uncomfortable, not fun. Do not climb, do not get around a plum. Cut that down.
Gotcha.
Just cut it down.
No.
Apples, on the other hand, have smooth gray bark that has little single lenticels, the way you were talking about, and often platy scales all over the stem, especially as they get older.
Okay.
That is an easy way to tell those apart, just by the bark alone. You can just go for it.
Alrighty.
So you were on the right track, but you had I think you crossed some wires there. In your confusion, you made in your own head.
Sure. I'm also thinking about, I don't know, what is the white tree? Like a birch has a lot of lenticels.
Yes,
but
they
not
also have
lenticels.
No, they are. Yeah. With white birches, they have horizontal lenticels as well, but their bark is really exfoliating and is either bronze or white.
Okay.
So you'll never have like the purpley exfoliating like you get on some cherries.
I'm tired of trees.
Yeah, trees are dumb.
Let's end this podcast in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, your wish is my command.
Our 2-week notice.
This is our 2 week. Well, no, we still have
Next
3
week
more
is our
weeks.
2 week.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so that's the bark, right? So now we know what this tree looks like. Visually, I like this tree more than I like literally any other apple.
Wow. Okay.
Period.
This is your favorite tree, favorite apple visually.
Yes. And so when I initially was doing this episode and I started reading this book, I was like, I am going to change my attitude. I am going to stop fighting and I'm going to learn to love the apple.
Wow.
I have not got there. Okay. I still hate apples. I know this because I could not convince myself to do a third episode on apples.
So crab apples.
I actively was like, okay, what am I going to do here? So I gave myself.
Well, let me ask you. What is the big deal? Why can't you just hate apples?
Well, because Alex,
is this like a narrative arc you have to complete in order to enter heaven or something?
I think so. I don't like having hate in my heart. I did this. I don't know, just, I don't want to hold grudges, and like I've held grudges, and I don't want to like be upset, and I don't want to have this one thing where I'm just like, stupid thing. I want to be like open and free, and like I want to flow again. I don't want to have that weight of hatred on me.
That I get.
So
you want to be open-minded about like things you don't like.
Yes.
So that you could maybe like them.
Exactly. So I have tried this with eating apples. And like I said, I eat apples so often that everyone's like, wait, I thought you hated apples. And I'm like, I do, but I had 4 today because I like pears. That's all I want is the pears. Give me all the fruit except for the apples and the cherries, and I'll eat everything else.
Yeah.
So I ended up eating all these apples, and I thought to myself, yeah, okay, maybe I should talk about that. I'm like, no, I've already kind of talked about them. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about this tree that's blooming, that will be blooming here in the next little, maybe in about a month or so.
Okay.
They're all going to start going out. It's about spring, so I'm like, wonderful, let's talk about spring trees. Then I ended up diving into a couple interesting things. And it turns out that the tree that I chose, which is the tree we're talking about, the tea crabapple, is the only apple that I have found that is actually like worth hanging out with.
Wow.
So coincidentally, as I was like saying, okay, I'm just going to look this one up. Okay, I know there's this tea crabapple. There's also this other one called the Japanese crabapple, which is Floribunda, Malus floribunda. And I was like, okay, great. Well, let's look at these ones. And then I ended up looking through my book of all these different types, and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about the extreme heterozygosity of the flowers, because this is going to be really interesting, which we've already kind of talked about before. So it's kind of like, Casey, you're kind of just, you're selling yourself short here.
Okay.
So I ended up making a list of all these trees per one of the lists in Michael Durr's Manual of Woody Landscape Plants, which dedicates like 50 pages to crab apples.
Wow.
There are so many varieties, and he only scratches the surface. Oh, but he gave me the top 10. The first is Malus Adirondack. And these I will post, Alex, in the show notes, so everyone can go see this. And you can go see it if you look at our show notes right now. So there's 10 different species with all these different colors and shapes and forms. Of the hundreds that are out there, these are the top 10 that someone chose somewhere at some point. And then I realized, well, the reason that there are so many of these is that because of their extreme heterozygosity, apples don't come true from seed. You remember us talking about this?
Yeah, could you maybe just like refresh what that means?
Yeah, totally. That means if two apples, if a mommy and a daddy apple get together and they have apple sex, the seeds that come from their fruit, the apples, will not in any way necessarily resemble the two parents.
Okay.
They will be apples in name only. They might have smaller leaves, bigger leaves, leaves with lobes, leaves without lobes. Their fruit could be big and tasty. It could be small and awful. It could be big and awful. It could be small and tasty. Their flowers could be one of a million different colors. It could grow really tall. It could grow really short. It could be as a shitty shrub. It could have a resistance to this. It could have a resistance to that, or nothing.
Okay.
Sorry, what's the matter? What's the matter?
Oh my God, I'm going to have a panic attack. So variety A fucks variety B.
Yes.
Now, it would make sense if their child was variety AB.
Exactly.
But, or variety A or variety B.
Yeah. No, instead, their child is like variety Subaru.
XM.
Yeah. Like, so completely different, it doesn't even
That is so strange, and that's called heterozygosity.
Yes, this is extreme heterozygosity.
Oh, imagine this happening with humans.
Yeah, wouldn't that be weird? You'd have no idea what person came from what lineage.
That'd be crazy.
Because you would not be able to tell.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the reason that they have been so successful as a fruit tree, a la Johnny Appleseed. Just throw a bunch of seeds in the ground. Some of them will have the traits to survive.
Yeah.
If you select those ones, now you've selected for an apple species or variety that grows well in any given area. That's why we have them all over the country, all over the world. So, great. Turns out we can do that with the flowers as well. So instead of choosing for the big tasty fruits, we have chosen to do that with the flowers.
Okay.
So we have let just nature do its thing, right? Nature will take pollen from tree A and put it into the flowers of tree B, and then if it's two flowering species, it could produce a third individual, its offspring, that is just like gorgeous and beautiful and has wonderful flowers. So they essentially just like let them all just kind of go together, and they'll just do whatever they're going to do, and then they never have any idea which species or which individuals actually pollinated themselves. So we can't say, oh, this is a hybrid between species A and B, because we actually can't tell, because like you said, it turns out that the offspring is now going to be variety XM.
Yeah.
So variety XM does not look like any of the other trees, so we can't say, oh, well, it has the flowers of variety A, but it has the form of variety B, so it's a hybrid of those two.
I do really love and respect this, because to me it's like nature kind of like outplaying humans.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, I
like,
see what
you
you're
think
saying.
you can control me and put me with this other thing, and you know what's going to come out? I got a big surprise for you.
See, okay, that is, I think, a nice way to look at it.
That's fun.
I like that, because that also like gives the tree the ability to basically just be like, oh, hold on, let me just, I got this thing in my pocket, go fuck yourself.
It's a tree's middle finger.
Yeah, it was in my pocket this whole time. I agree, actually. That's a really good way to look at it.
It's pretty fun.
Now, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Whenever we write this in notation, because we have no idea who the parents were, we just say Malus and then a cultivar name.
Okay.
So this would be, so all of the ones that I have are Malus Adirondack, Malus Callaway, Malus Donald Wyman. They're never going to be Malus X this hybrid,
I see.
this variety,
Sure,
or this
yeah.
cultivar.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. We just don't have any idea.
Is that how you usually write those things?
No, normally we'd always do the hybrid.
Yeah.
So it would be like with U's, for example, it would be the hybrid U is Taxus X Media, and then some cultivar name after that.
Okay.
And that is a hybrid between the English and the Japanese U, which are two true species.
I see.
So the hybrid gets its own hybrid name. All the varieties of that hybrid get their own cultivar name.
Okay.
So this, we basically don't know where they come from, so we can't give it a hybrid name.
Wow.
Other than just saying, we know it's an apple, so we're just going to say Malus, and then we're going to leave it at that. It's some kind of crabapple between one of literally 20 different species sometimes.
But we can identify it once it's grown up.
Yes, we can say this is an apple, because we also like get the seed. We're like, okay, this is a little apple seed from an apple. We'll plant it, and then
not
see
even
what
just
happens.
that, but we can. I guess I'm missing something here, Casey.
Okay.
Let me ask for some clarification.
Please.
When a cultivar and a cultivar get together and have a baby, that baby can be any hybrid or cultivar of apples that exists?
Well, we would select a cultivar. So it would just be a hybrid is the best way to think about it. But also, it's not even a hybrid. It would just be some random conglomeration of genes. So let me give you a way that I think this can help.
Okay.
So if we take humans again, and you have a person with black skin and a person with white skin, they procreate, and you have a person that has usually some shade of skin in between the two. Instead of that happening with apples, let's say apples have 16 different colors of potential fruit, and they have 16 different varieties of flower colors and 16 different types of leaves and leaf color. When those two apples have sex, they just spin a wheel and they choose one of each of these traits, and then they say, great, that's what you're going to get. But it's a random kind of smattering of all these different traits.
Okay.
So we can identify it because it's still like the humans. It still looks like a human, but the human doesn't necessarily have all the same traits as the two parents. Okay. So you'd be like, all right, well, you have 100 different ways that you can grow your ears. So we're just going to spin this wheel. Brrr, there we go. We're going to choose these ears. We're going to choose those noses. We're going to choose those eyes. We're going to choose that thing. We're going to put you all together. You look like a human, but you don't look anything like the two humans that gave you those traits.
So this big list.
Yeah.
Malus Adirondack.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is a hybrid between some two different species.
But we don't know what.
We have an idea of which it is, but we can't really say for sure.
Okay.
We know, like, if someone did it very much on purpose, they took species A and species B and, smushed them together, and then they got a new seed.
Yeah.
But then that is a cultivar, which we probably selected one of, 100 or 200 different seedlings and said, this is our favorite one, turn that into a cultivar. Basically, that's just saying someone, I have this tree and I'm going to breed this one individual.
But then you can't replicate that, because the next time you go to make a new cultivar like that, but with those same parents, it's going to be something else.
It's going to be something completely different.
So you have to replicate it with like clonal reproduction.
Cuttings, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think I get it now.
Yes. So every apple is always, if it's the same variety, same cultivar, it's always going to be a clone, a cutting of the very, very first one that ever grew. Cool, yes. Interesting, no. But it is interesting. The one species of apple who looked at nature and looked at all these other apples and said, you know what? No. I am going to do exactly the opposite, or maybe I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to preempt you. That is Malus hupehensis.
How does it do it?
It has the unique ability to clone itself through its own seeds, which is something you might recall us talking about with the Sahara cypress.
Of course I remember.
Of course he does.
Say that sentence one more time.
It
clone itself.
Yep, through its own seeds.
Okay.
Which is called apomixis.
Isn't that normal?
No.
For trees?
No.
That drop a seed from a tree and it grows up and it's the same species?
No.
Oh, you're talking
clone.
It's the same tree.
Yes. Woman has baby clone of woman. Woman never have sex.
It's like a mini-me.
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah.
I can think of one woman who had a baby who never had sex. And it turned into the
my God.
The greatest tale ever told.
The greatest tale.
This is the episode where you find out I'm like a devout Christian.
Yeah, I've learned this now. I should have known. So
Tell me more about, what is this process called?
This is called apomixis.
That's right, apomixis.
Now, in the Sahara cypress, we talked about this because the the two trees will, like tree A will send pollen over to tree B, and then tree A will clone itself in situ, in the womb, in vitro, I think is actually the term. And that will be a genetic clone of tree A coming from the seeds of tree B. So they never actually mix their genes together.
Okay.
That is one version of this paternal apomixis or something like that.
It's almost like I'm going to use your womb to grow a clone of myself.
Exactly.
But just as a womb.
Exactly.
As like an incubator.
All that is an incubation situation.
You're not, it's a bit of an incubation situation.
Yeah.
You're not giving me any genes. I don't want you messing with my clone. It's mine.
Yeah.
I'm just using your womb.
Precisely.
Okay.
That's what happens in the Sahara cypress.
It's a little Handmaid's Tale.
Very much so, yeah. Now, in the case of our tea crabapple, Alex, it turns out that it just doesn't even use anybody else's womb. It just does it itself.
Okay.
It says, hey, great, I'm just going to make a seed, and then I'm just going to be me, baby. And it creates its own clone. And in particular, Alex, it creates a clone called the Yi-Chang clone.
Yi-Chang.
Yes. Here is the reason that I am having a resurgence of actually, I think I like apples.
Whoa.
Really, it's I think I like this apple, and every other apple can just get out of my face.
We found an apple you like.
It is an apomictic triploid, which means it has 3 sets of chromosomes instead of 4 or 2, which means it cannot hybridize much of the time with something that has 2 or 4, because it's like they just don't match up, right? Okay. Because they don't match up, this tree will just clone itself in its own seeds. A bird eats its seed, that seed then grows, then it grows up as a genetic perfect clone of the parent. They have, over time, found the same exact clone of this species growing in different places, kilometers, like hundreds of kilometers away from each other in central China.
Oh my God.
So this tree has cloned itself, but it also exists as a diploid, which means it has 2 sets of chromosomes, sexual individual as well.
Okay, so there's 3 and 2.
Exactly.
I mean, forgive me when we get into this sort of thing. I'm like,
no, you're good.
Barely
You're good.
Holding on.
And I am here to keep yanking you against your goddamn will.
Oh, I don't
down,
know if I like that.
We go down. Oh yeah. I'm gonna yank you through the butthole all the way down to the end of this.
3rd time is the charm.
And we shall never do it again.
Rule of 3s.
So that is exactly it.
Okay.
Let me give it to you one more time.
Yeah.
Through the butthole.
Okay. You jumped the shark.
I'm sorry. I love jumping sharks.
That's 4.
So here's what you got to do.
The rule of 4 butthole.
Yeah, sorry.
That was the 5th.
Okay, so now we got to do it one more time.
So it's 2 rule of 3s.
Exactly. So this tree has 2 different individuals or 2 different kinds of populations.
Okay.
One is a diploid, so it has 2 sets of chromosomes, and it has sex. And it will create new individuals of itself through the same species, having sex with its same species, or like every other goddamn apple on the entire planet, it will sleep with literally any other apple and produce a new apple individual.
Okay.
So that would be a hybrid. The same species also has a triploid population, I guess, group, and they do not have sex with any other species or any other individuals in their own species.
Wow.
Either. They clone themselves.
They don't even mate with their own, even if the parts match up.
Yeah.
Even if another triploid.
Yeah.
Wow.
They just clone themselves. They don't give a fuck.
Crazy.
And they then meet the definition of a microspecies. Because just like the Sahara cypress, they don't have any sexual exploits with anybody else.
Yeah.
That's one of the important parts about being a species, is that you are self-compatible with your own kind.
And these aren't.
They're not. So they just clone themselves and become their own species because they're not sleeping with anybody else. There's no other reproduction, sexual or otherwise, with anything else.
Weird.
They're just doing it themselves. So conceivably, they meet the definition of their own species, but it's really just a population within another species.
Whoa.
Within the same species.
Oh, sure.
Oh my God.
It's not a subspecies. That's its own thing.
Yeah.
Is it not, actually?
Not quite, because if you have a subspecies, they are different because of either space or time. They've just been separated for however long. But if you take those subspecies and you put them right next to each other, they will still interbreed between themselves.
An example is like lodgepole pine and shore pine.
Yes, exactly.
Are the same species.
But different subspecies.
Yeah. But if you put a shore pine next to a lodgepole pine, they will have a baby.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yes, and it will still be Pinus contorta.
Will it be a shore pine or it will be a launch pole?
Who knows?
Depends on where it grows up, I suppose.
Depends on where it grows up at this point.
Yeah.
So, in the case of our little tea crab apple, first off, smells great. Looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's got the best form of any of the crab apples I believe I have ever seen. Then it also is the only species that says, you know what, all this like extreme heterozygosity, I get it, but also like I don't want to do that sometimes. So it has some individuals that are just like, no, I'm just going to masturbate myself. Don't worry about it. And then they just grow into microspecies. This like weird intermixing idea of like, is it a species? Is it not a species? Sorry, did you not like?
Well, no, I just have this image now
of just a tree just whacking it over there,
ejaculating, and like what comes out is a bunch of little Alexes.
Oh, geez,
Like fully formed, just little guys. That's horrifying.
Yeah, this is not an episode for children.
Just put the not safe for work tag on this. All right.
Oh, geez.
Sorry, I got distracted by that and I stopped listening to what you were saying.
No, that's okay. I'm okay with that. So anyway, of all the different apples in the entire world, this is the only one where I'm like, I could hang out with you. Because it is by far the most interesting apple I have ever come across.
That's incredible, yeah.
And I only came across it because I was trying to find a way for me to like apples.
You did it.
And I think I did.
But there's a huge asterisk.
What?
This is a crab apple, my friend.
Yeah, okay. Here you go. Here you go. You guy. What is the difference between an apple and a crab apple?
It's very simple, you see.
And, yeah.
Apples are the size of my fist, and they're good to eat. Crab apples are bad and tiny.
Yes. That's it.
So it's not an apple.
It's an apple.
I disagree.
That's fine if you want to disagree. Your poems are your own. But, my friend, botanically speaking, Malus, across the board.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree with the botanics. Do this for me. Spell the word crab apple.
Crabapple.
No hyphen?
Nope.
Okay. I thought I got you on the hyphen.
Ha!
Damn. Of course, if you're wondering why, it's because hyphenated
means it's not real.
Yeah.
Yes. So you could potentially put a hyphen between the.
Which means it's false.
Yes, exactly.
It's a false
not a real
version
one.
of the thing it's pretending to be.
Exactly. Now, I will give you, also, you can have that same instance if you put them together. So like Western red cedar, no hyphen, but the words are smashed together.
Red cedar?
Yes. So that means it's a fake cedar if you put the red and the cedar together, or if you put a hyphen between it.
Yeah.
So in this case, I think you actually, you didn't say it, but I am saying you could technically get me on that still.
Oh, it could be crab hyphen apple. Crab hyphen apple.
Yes, because technically, if there's a hyphen or if there is no space, that is also denoting it's not a real version of whatever it is.
I gotcha. No, okay.
Yeah. So, but this, I think, this is 100%. It is in the genus Malus. It's an apple.
Okay, fair enough.
So, if you want to take away me liking apples, then I'm okay with that.
No, I'll say you found an apple that you love.
I found one apple that I love. Can you eat it? No. Would I cut it down if I had the option? Probably.
No, you would not.
I might.
Because you like how it smells.
I do like how it smells.
Yeah, this is your old hate.
You're right. This is coming
bleeding
back.
into your new ideas.
Let yourself free, Casey.
Yeah, Jesus.
Let it go.
You take mushrooms with me and let go of your hate of apples.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to eat an apple and it's going to make me just completely shit my pants.
Yeah. Out of your butt. Last one.
Get out of here.
And with that,
go to break.
We got to go to a break. But when we get back, we're going to talk about a review. In fact, we're just going to review the Malus hupehensis right now. Welcome back to Completely Arbortrary. Casey, it's time to give a rating and a review to this tea crab apple.
Yes.
And here's how it works. We're going to get some final thoughts on the tea crab apple and then give it a rating of 0 to 10 golden poems of honor, as this is a poem.
Okay.
As our resident expert, we'll begin with you.
All right. Because I generally don't like any other crab apples. Mm-hmm. Some of them are beautiful. Some of them are not. Some of them just look like stringy, woody messes that people plant because they don't actually want a real tree. They tend to be very messy. They tend to sprout from the base, like so many hydras coming up from the ground and pissing me off.
Why? Real quick.
Yeah.
Why don't you like sprouting from the base?
It's a great question. It does. It just looks ugly. It is
you know
not
the tree
a
is
handsome
stressing?
thing. No. Honestly, the trees half the time aren't stressing at all. They're doing fine. They just something happens to them, and then you have like imagine you have a bunch of roots growing out, and each root is doing their own thing, but they're easily spooked.
Okay.
As soon as one gets easily spooked, it pops a bud, punk, and then a bud pops and it like sprouts up.
Yeah.
Everything's fine, but it just got a little nervous for some reason, maybe like someone stepped on it hard.
It's just protocol to shoot out a bud.
I think so. That's fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's not a huge deal. It's not something that like usually means the tree's bad or should die or anything like that, unless you're me, in which case it does, because it looks so bad in terms of like the aesthetics of a tree. Nobody wants to see a tree that has like 6 million little sprouts coming up all around it. It just looks like a mess. Rather than this nice, big, beautiful single thing that's just like, that's clean.
I won't disagree just to be a contrarian, but I can see like if you had like a natural kind of like wild yard, and you want like this tree with a bunch of stuff going on.
I don't know even.
I don't even know if I believe that. I think I was just trying to offer the other side.
I appreciate that. I am not convinced still, and that's okay with me.
Please continue your review.
So, I generally find apples, crab or otherwise, to be uninteresting trees unless they are very specifically planted for very particular purposes and are almost meticulously maintained and never frightened. Never. Because you don't want any of those sprouts to just come out. That is where I base most of the beginning of my response here. Low. Like I would start with 3, being like everything about it is just okay, and I'm going to keep it at 3 because I'm not a bad guy.
Okay.
Most of the time. But this tree has basically said, you know what? Some of us apples are pretty cool, and it starts to do a bunch of weird stuff. It starts to grow in very interesting ways. It starts to make itself again.
Nice.
This is the one apple that I'm like, actually, even with all the things that I find to be a detriment of apples, it has pulled itself above the fray. So instead of giving it a 3, I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Oh.
Better, but still it's an apple, and yeah, fine.
That 5.5 is fine.
I'm giving it a 5.5. And I'm sorry. It's not perfect, it's not great, but it's growth.
Your poems are your own.
My poems are my own. Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate that.
It is growth. It is 2.5 poems worth of growth.
That makes me feel okay.
This might be the first time that sentence has ever been said by a human being.
And may it never be the last.
All right, 5.5. Not bad, Casey.
I'm going to go 5.5 on it. But you know what? Ask me again in like a month when it starts to blossom, and I can look at it and be like, actually, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
If it were in front of you, you might give it a couple.
I might give it a little bit more. Yeah. I really like smelling them. All right, I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
Stop asking me questions.
All right.
I don't want to get any further into this.
Well, are you ready to hear my review?
Yes. I also said no more questions.
Oh, fuck. You're ready to hear my review.
Yo, Alex.
And here it is now.
He's using his mind games on me. He sits upright. He looks off into the distance.
On this podcast, I have allowed Casey to sort of steer the ship narratively when it comes to apples.
Are you even talking to me anymore? Are you just talking to? It's like I'm not even in the room.
And that narrative is that they're bad, and they could be other trees. Sorry, I didn't mean to do a dumb guy voice.
Is he doing that? Is that me?
They could be other trees when they're apples. Ugh. And apple a day keeps a doctor away was like probably an ad campaign by Big Apple, I'm assuming, and not New York City.
The other Big Apple.
The other Big Apple. However, I feel like I have never Not because of you, but because of the way I've let you take the reins. I've never really given my full opinion on apples.
You're saying I overshadowed you?
Maybe a little, but I also let that happen.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
because it was more interesting than my opinion of apples, which is I think they're fine. Which I can't believe other people have different opinions about apples.
It's the most contentious thing that we've ever covered on this podcast.
I suppose so, yeah. But I like apples, and I think they're like a utilitarian fruit, you know? They're like...
I don't know.
The government comes every month, and they give you an apple to put on your shelf, and you get to eat it. And I like to eat apples. I've got several in my fridge right now. And I respect Malus as being this sort of like, you know, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me kind of genus. You know, it's like you think you can play with my genes? You think you can control my life? Well, guess what? You made me pollinate this other apple tree, and I have no say in this. It's going to be some crazy thing you've never even seen or heard of. You're not going to get what you want out of that. I think that's great. Now, this week's apple, the tea crab apple.
Yeah.
Which we didn't even really get into the tea business. I know you said they make tea with it in China, but then I was like, when they use it when tea is low in China. China's like full of tea.
I feel like it's one of those situations where like they would be used in tea, not necessarily as tea. You know what I mean?
Okay, maybe
like,
put some in your chamomile.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Or not even chamomile. No, I think true tea, like the old camellia that's out there.
I don't know tea. Chamomile is tea.
Chamomile is technically tea.
But you're talking about tea family tea.
Yes, which is really just one species of camellia, actually.
Which sounds a lot like chamomile.
Yeah.
When will it end? I like crab apples because I saw one on Orcas Island, and I was having a really good day.
Okay.
And my friend Ingrid said, try one. And I took one. And I was like,
it was awful.
It tastes bad. But I could see the merit, or I could see like some hint of like the flavor. I could kind of get. It was like a shadow of a flavor, covered up entirely by this horrible acidicness. I'm just having a nice time having the floor here.
Yeah, you're just going.
It feels good. Let's see. Let's run out the clock.
All right, I got to get out of here.
I'm gonna give this tea crab apple a 6.75.
6.75, 3/4 more than what I gave it.
Which is pretty good.
That's not bad. That's way higher than it deserves. Than apples deserve.
Don't say that right after I give my score.
You're right. Your poems are your own, and I'm giving up my hatred.
That's so anti-poem of your own rhetoric.
I already said I'm sorry, Alex.
Well, I'm leaning into how I feel about it.
I'm never going to be on time again.
Nothing's changing, I see.
Whoa, I heard that. I'm still in the room. Okay, all right. So we got 6 and 6.75 for the tea crab apple. I think that's pretty okay.
That's great.
I think
that's our highest rated apple?
Easily. And if it isn't, then it should be. I don't remember off the top of my head what Malus Severzii was rated. Is rated. Mm-hmm.
I'm going up to 6.8.
What?
It just feels better to me.
You can't just do that.
You literally did the exact same thing.
I don't remember.
10 seconds ago. Play back the tape. Casey,
I'm dubious.
I think if we don't end the discussion of the crab apple right now, it may never end.
I think that's fair. Let's have a final word.
And the final word comes from our completely arbitrary AMA.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to ask a question on the podcast, all you have to do is become a Tremia member.
That's like, easy as that.
Idiot. Arbitrarypod.supercast.com.
Did we just call all of the listeners idiots if they don't?
Yeah.
You're not an idiot.
This is peer pressure. If you're not a Tremia member, you're basically an idiot.
You're not even cool.
And this week we've got a question from Serene.
Hi, Serene.
Or maybe Serena, but it ends with an E. So I want to say Serene.
All right, let's do it.
Can you tell if a leaf will be opposite, simple, or alternate, simple, or opposite, compound, etc. by the buds?
Whoa.
Trying to identify a tree in the winter with just buds. Wonder if there's any way to tell how the leaves are going to be just by the buds alone.
It's a great question.
I think that's so interesting.
That is a really good question.
Can you tell by looking at buds, what is in there?
You can make some inferences, but in a technical sense, no.
Okay, because it's all enclosed.
It's all inside. Yeah, it's all like in miniature. In fact, every bud has all the stuff for next year, just kind of all packed in there already, just
That's
in like
crazy.
kind of microscopic form.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've had this proven to me by taking a big leaf maple twig and cutting it off in probably about this time. And then taking it inside, putting it in some water, and then it gets way warmer. So the plant is like, wow, it's time to go. And then it pops out and it completely flowered entirely.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The normal size and everything?
Normal size and everything, yeah.
So in the bud, is it that normal size and it's just really crammed together, or is it like tiny?
Yeah, it's imagine it, it's all very tiny. It's all like almost... it's not quite microscopic, but it is embryonic, basically, where all you need to do is fill it with water, and then everything goes. So imagine all the cells are even smaller and all smashed right next to each other.
Okay.
And then as the everything starts to bloom, then each one of those cells gets bigger. It doesn't actually split, though. That's the thing. It's already split. It's already set. They just inflate like big balloons and become 10 times their size.
They just have to. They're dehydrated.
Exactly.
You have to hydrate them.
Yeah, precisely.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
So that is what these little guys do inside those buds.
Okay.
So the buds themselves have all the stuff, but you can't actually see it. So if you're just looking at an ash tree, you can see that those buds are a little bit larger. They're usually pretty plump, and they're on big kind of fat twigs. Though the buds themselves don't tell you anything, you can look at the size of the buds and the size of the twig, and you can make a little inference.
Okay.
You can say, I notice that these buds are oppositely arranged, because you can see that no matter the time of year. Then you can say these twigs are pretty stout, and they're also kind of widely spaced. And they're stout and widely spaced because they have to hold up big leaves, so they have to be a little bit bigger and stronger. But they also have to be a little bit wider spaced, because if you and I are holding our own gigantic, 6-foot leaves, then you and I have to be 12 feet across, or like away from each other.
Oh, so you're saying the distance between the buds is a hint?
Not the buds, the twigs.
Sorry, the distance between the twigs?
Yes. So you have widely spaced branching in twigs.
Okay.
So if you
Can tell you the size of the leaf because it needs to make room for itself.
Exactly. So
that's crazy.
The distance that they are spread apart
Yeah.
is one clue, as well as the stoutness of them. So little twigs mean probably little leaves. Big twigs mean probably big leaves.
That's crazy. I never knew this.
Yeah, it's a great little thing. It's not 100%. You can just kind of look at it and say, okay, I'm going to be leaning towards thinking that might be a little bit bigger, but that doesn't necessarily tell you if it's going to be a compound leaf or just a really big simple leaf, like a catalpa versus a black walnut. They are both large leaves, and they both have twigs that are stout with more widely spaced branching, but you don't necessarily know if they're going to be compound or not.
Okay.
So I don't think there's a way to tell that off the top of my head. Not even a good way to infer it unless you see a part in the tree that gives it away.
Sure. I guess in the winter with a flowering, like a deciduous plant, there are other like ID mechanics you can go off of, like the overall form of it, or like
but it's still it would still just tell you the species of the tree, or maybe the genus, but it wouldn't actually necessarily, if you had no idea what that tree was, if you just looked at it and you're like, okay, I'm looking at these buds, I'm looking at these twigs, and I can tell that these probably have big leaves, and I can tell that the leaves are probably... No, I don't think you could make that next jump without using other clues that would just tell you the species of the tree.
Okay.
But it wouldn't necessarily tell you direct information about the leaf,
Sure, yeah.
So if you have buds that are oppositely arranged, those leaves are going to be oppositely arranged. You can infer that directly because you always have those two things.
I guess I'm just saying there are like many on this wheel of ID. If you don't have access to some of these ID things, there are other ones you can start with or use to infer
definitely.
the species.
Yeah, to figure out what the species is. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can look at the bark, you can look at the form, you can look at all the things you noted. That definitely is a help. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily. I'm really hyper focused on what will give you the clue about what the leaf is like inside of the bud.
Yeah.
In the middle of wintertime. And I don't think that there's anything other than the size and spacing to give you a relative guess as to the size of the leaf.
We'll clip it off and bring it home and put in some water.
Put in some water, see if it pops, see if it sends out some leaves.
That's crazy that works.
Yeah, it might maybe not work all the time, every time on everything.
Yeah.
But this is one particular example that proved to me that everything is, in fact, a microscopic, embryonic version of itself inside the bud.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's a really good question, Serene. I don't know that I can tell you anything else.
Thanks, Serene. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Like I said, if you've got a question for the podcast, become a Treemium member, arbitrarypod.supercast.com. And of course, my favorite thing about being a Treemium member is becoming a part of the Cone Club, where we send you monthly stickers in the mail, illustrations of different parts of trees. Maybe they're conifer cones, maybe they're fruit, maybe they're leaves, maybe they're pieces of bark. And we have how many of these stickers in existence? Over 50.
I think we have like 57 now.
Okay. That is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and if you're on that Cone Club, you can get access to all of those cone stickers, and you can get 20% off when you go buy them on the store.
That's right. arbitrarypod.supercast.com. Casey Clapp.
Alex Crowson, thanks for listening to me have a whole moral arc over the last 5 years.
It kind of felt like a therapy session.
It did. And I appreciate you giving me that opportunity.
That's okay, because not that there are like points to be earned in our relationship, but right before we recorded, I had a therapy session with you, not related to apples.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. This is what balance is all about.
Yeah.
This is life, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode.
Is he okay? Oh my God.
I don't know what just happened. Maybe a stroke. Of Completely Arbortrary. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
See ya. Completely Arbortrary is hosted by Casey Clapp and Alex Crowson.
Our music is by Aves and the Mini Vandals, and our artwork is by Jillian Barthold.
To support the podcast and get rewards in return, become a Treemium member at arbitrarypod.supercast.com.
Thanks for listening.